Dayglow, congrats on People in Motion, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
This is such an elated album. Like listening through to it, I was like, this is exactly what I need right now. And I love that it's kind of about you diving fully and freely into feelings, like just like intenseness, letting go. What is this
Mm.
period that this album encapsulates for you?
Mm. Well, thank you so much. It's so nice. Yeah, I don't know, like, I feel like this is my first record that I've put out where I'm like, I understand that I'm an artist and I'm gonna make art and I'm not like afraid to make it. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of feelings of like commitment. I recently got married, so that kind of like, finds its way.
Congrats!
Thank you. Thank you. Um, so that kind of like finds its way into the record, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like a mainly just a theme of like feeling a sense of confidence as a musician and my love for music. Um, yeah, it's like there's a lot of emotions going on. But I feel really, really good and like proud of the record and yeah.
Damn, that's cathartic. Was it like a turning point in that confidence where you were just like, you know what, I've got this? Like, actually, why am I second guessing myself? Or was it more that you felt like you knew what Dayglow was as a product? Or, yeah, where did
Hmm.
this confidence come about?
Mostly that. So like my first two records, which I absolutely love. Like I'm not like, oh, this is the new album and I don't like my old ones or something. But I didn't have any context whatsoever on like live performance. And to me,
Mm.
like I'm I'm a musician through and through. Like I love to make music, and the point is like live music. And I was recording all this music, but I didn't really get to see necessarily firsthand like what a Dayglow show is like, or how it was going to be received, or how people were like digesting my music. And so this record kind of comes off of the heels of like being able to tour a lot, and get to play a lot of shows across the world and see like, okay, this is what I think people are looking for in a Dayglow show. And now I can use that context for how I approach this next album, which was, yeah, really fun and ended up being exactly like what I wanted to make as well. So, yeah, it's a good thing. I'm excited to now be touring this album.
Yes, I'm excited too. I caught two Dayglow shows in July when you were in Australia, and they freaking pop off. Also,
Thank you.
did you enjoy the shoey that you did? You did multiple
Uh,
shoeys while you were here.
I did have multiple shoeys. I guess the short answer would be no, I did not enjoy
Yeah,
it, but
fair.
I enjoy Australians, and I
Culture.
enjoy the ceremony of doing a shoey. So I guess I just had to be the person that does it. But I'll be
It's
prepared next time. Yeah.
Yeah, look, but it's one of those things that like most Australians haven't done a shoey. It's just something we force internationals to do and call it an Australian thing. Like I've
Yeah.
never done a shoey, so
Yeah.
don't feel like you need to go along with the peer pressure.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting that your thought of the live process or the live reception informs your current process. Like that would have been really difficult to navigate when you had no sort of feedback and testing it out. And I know that Second Nature, you've said that you didn't think this one was like a Dayglow song when you started making that track until you started fully forming People in Motion. What was it like? What do you see is the brand of Dayglow? Like what makes it a Dayglow
Mm,
track?
that's a really good question. I think at the end of the day, like it's just something that I made,
Yeah.
and I'm more confident in myself and like, oh wow, so like I must have like a certain thing that I do that I can't help but do it when I make music. And so Second Nature, I think for Dayglow fans, it just feels like, oh yeah, this is a Dayglow song, although it like sounds very different than Fuzzy Brain. I think there's this common thread throughout all of it, and that would be like it's something that I made. And so I've kind of let myself, free a little bit because you can get so caught up in like thinking, oh, but I need to like be like this artist or like do this. But as long
Mm.
as I made it and I'm having fun making it, then that's what makes it a Dayglow song. So Second Nature, I guess, is my boldest attempt at that, because it's like a 6 minute electronic dance song, but it still feels like Dayglow. And yeah, it's fun with People in Motion. I just really let go of all the rules that I had been making in my head, and just wanted to make like a really fun full album.
Yeah, it's freeing, absolutely. And you notoriously like you do everything. Like you don't
Mhm.
collaborate. It's kind of
Mhm.
hard to get that validation of like, is this a good idea? Because you don't have other people in the room.
Yeah.
Is that like what is it about the solo process that you really enjoy? And is collaboration on the cards? And have you tried it? And what was your takeaways?
Yeah, I mean, with collaboration, I love being around people, and I love to work with people. I think with Dayglow, it's just really become this special thing that's like very insular and just like really pure. And I think that's what makes it really special and kind of allows me to have this direct connection between me and my fans. And I think it's really special for them as well, because it's hard to know, like with anything, like how it got from point A to point B. I mean, that goes with anything. It's like, sometimes we have like no idea where this food came from, or like, this thing. There's just all these
Yeah.
products everywhere. And with music, it kind of feels like that. It's like, are they actually really, producing it themselves, or is that like a marketing tactic or something?
Yeah,
And
okay.
so with
Did
Dayglow,
you actually produce it yourself on record?
I did. So I think with Dayglow, like that allows me to be just completely and utterly transparent, and which I like that.
Mm.
I like that sense of honesty. Um, because I make these like YouTube videos called How I Made, and I just like go through all the stems of the song and show people how I made it, which has been fun. But all that to say, I would love to collaborate with people in the future. I think I would like to be a producer for someone else, but I think with Dayglow specifically, it's kind of just like a solo thing.
Mm. I like that. Yeah, so possibly like a separate project of collaboration. But I think you're right in that like it's nice to have it distilled as your product. When you're going
Mm.
back through these sessions and talking through the stems, are there parts of it that you're like I would have done that better? Like, are you good at closing a session? There's such like
Um,
full lush songs with so many layers that I imagine
yeah,
it's like I can't even imagine what it would look like, but also that there's a lot of
yeah,
finessing that would be hard to
yeah.
step away from.
I mean, I'm pretty self-conscious, so like I kind of just don't allow myself to go there mentally. Like once something's done, I'm like, well, it's just done. It just has to be done. Um, but it's more like I think another thing that's really special about working on music just myself is that you can watch me get better at what I'm doing. And you can see me like learn as I go. Because Fuzzy Brain I made essentially when I was like 17, 18. And so I can look back and like see myself grow as a producer and a songwriter. And so I just kind of look back at it and don't like, beat myself up, because every album that I make will be technically slightly better than the last because I learned more, like I became a better engineer. So it's fun to like look back and be like, oh yeah, that was definitely a time in my life where this was my methodical way of doing this, but now I do this. And yeah.
That must also though be equally frustrating because you're putting out songs that you're like, this actually isn't representative of where I am now. Like what you're doing now would be vastly beyond
Yeah.
what People Emotions putting out. Is there a song on there that's the most indicative of what you're currently creating? Like was there one song that kind of unlocks something that you're like, shit, that's the direction I want Dago to go in? Or is it
Mm.
what are we doing now?
Yeah. Man, I think the whole record, like truly, I'm really, really proud of this album. And I think this album, I feel like I found what I was trying to make. And I think it will hopefully come across that way. Like it's a very diverse album. And there's lots of different types of songs on it. But if I had to pick one, then I was like, okay, like this sounds like the next album. Uh, geez, I don't know. maybe then it all goes away. I don't know.
How good is a cowbell? How, how
A
about good is
cowbell's
the
a good.
cowbell?
Yeah, you gotta use a cowbell. It's just like a perfect metronome, you know?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So maybe some more cowbell in the future. What is your? I feel like you'd
Definitely.
geek out on this. What is your favorite sound? Like you've experimented with so
Hmm.
many different like synthesizers and stuff on this album.
Mhm.
What's your like? If you were to individualize a single sound.
Okay. This is like super nerdy, but like I kind of came across so like there's this stuff. It's like a whole community of people that are interested in this, and if you're not in this community, like you don't care at all. But it's called Eurorack. So like there's basically like build your own synthesizers out of these little modules. So I have this like synth that I have in my studio that technically nobody else has. So like no Eurorack system is the same. And on that Eurorack system, I have this like very percussive, like cowbell-ish type sound that kind of creates this like driving rhythmic drone that's on essentially every song in People in Motion. It's kind of like it kind of feels like a heartbeat. So like if you really listen to the layers of the record, you'll hear it in every song. Um, and that's probably my favorite sound. But it sounds like
Oh, okay, I was gonna
just
say if
going
you're
down.
like heart beating it, are you side chaining it to any sort of beat as well? So it gets that like womp womp, or not so much.
Kind of,
If that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. So it's like it's usually just like an eighth note. So like
Mm.
I don't know how to describe it, but
I'm gonna have to
yeah,
listen.
yeah. You'll probably notice it. And couple of the songs is a little bit louder than the others.
I love that a heartbeat esque sound is like the undercurrent of this album because it is definitely one that I think obviously comes from a space of love and you know wearing your heart on your sleeve. So Dayglow, thank you so much for chatting with me. Congrats on People in Motion. It's a lush
Yeah,
album. Can't wait for everyone to hear it.
yeah. Thank you so much. I can't wait for everyone else to hear it as well.